Today, the Father says, I invite you to receive my holy nature. By virtue of the work that was done on the cross, you were given the marrow of my life so that it could generate itself and reproduce itself within you. I have cleansed you of work that has been done. I am the one who has purified you from the past. I have made it possible for you to consume the cup of communion, which corresponds to my blood, and to take a bite out of the bread, which represents my body. How are you doing? You are at peace now. That gives you the power. You have undergone a transformation. The change is yours to go. Today is the day that the angel of change has arrived to begin the process of change. During the time when he is drawing near, there will be shaking and trembling, but you should not be afraid since everything is happening for your good and for your blessing. An item that had been misplaced has been brought back. There is a removal of Adam and the nature of Adam that is present in you. You are a whole new creation because of Christ. You no longer belong to the group of the elderly man. You belong to an entirely other species. Sin will not be able to exert its authority over you. You no longer have to be shackled by the sin that prevented you from moving forward. Even while you might believe that you have no other option, this is just the way that the flesh works. Is it not the case that I am residing on the inside of you? Be discerning in yourself. As you live out of that magnificence, sin will gradually disappear and will no longer be able to hold you back. Your tranquility will no longer be subject to the taint of corruption. According to the Father, you will not only be clean, but you will also feel clean, and you will walk away whole and free from every sin that has been afflicting you. At this point, the Father continues, things are going to start to get easier. At this point, you will understand the complete meaning of the phrases, yoke easy, and burden light. Those individuals who proclaim the burden of the Lord, have diverted their attention away from the completed work that was accomplished at Calvary. A crushing load that makes them appear to be suffering servants is how they characterize the experience of living in my kingdom. All of their rewards have been given to them. They believe that they are suffering for me, but in reality, they are not suffering for me. Rather, they are merely performing religious theater that deceives people into believing that they are spiritual and good, but does not provide any evidence of my goodness. I invite you to abandon all such folly and simply come to me. Come to me with the expectation that the burden will be light, the yoke will be easy, and that I will bless you with the ability to find you. Break free from the shackles of a false sense of devotion, says the Father. The scales of religion should be removed from your eyes so that you can see things as they really are. In front of you is a bright and brilliant path. The defeat of the adversary is approaching from behind you. While I am walking beside you, I am working to fortify and empower you. You are not going to get burned even if you are walking through the fire. In spite of the fact that you are traversing the waste-howling wilderness, I shall provide for you. I will cause you to simply walk on those waves until you reach a place of safety, despite the fact that the floods produced by the adversary are directed against you. Be not afraid of anything. Don't give up hope just yet. It is not necessary for you to ask, God, where are you, since I am right here. I am as close to you as the breath that comes through your nostrils, and I will give you strength to go through today, tomorrow, and the following week, because that is who I am and that is what I do, says God. According to what the Father has revealed to us today, the gates of hell are giving way to who I am in your life. It is not death that will grip you. You are not going to be taken by death, just as I was never taken by it. I did not allow death to prevail over me, rather, I chose to end my life of my own will. It will be as easy as checking out of the hotel and checking into your heavenly home if you want to go through the process of going through the grave. It is not necessary to be afraid of death. If the adversary had his way, you would have been dead for a very long time. However, every time you take a breath, you are overcoming death. If the adversary had his way, you would have been dead for a very long time. I am the one who holds all of your days. You are not going to die, rather, I am going to give you life. I am not taking anything away from you, rather, I am providing you with all that is required and essential for the situation that we are facing today. Make today a day of seeking the kingdom. As soon as you wake up each day, be the kind of person who asks, Father, what was it that you had in mind that I am going to occupy myself with today? My children are constantly racing around doing a variety of activities in my name, and they are perplexed as to why things do not go as planned. Talk to me about it. You will be able to see my hand if you seek my face. Allow me to direct you with my sight, just as a competent servant who is able to recognize exactly what is required from the master with only a glance and then fulfills that requirement. In that case, death will not come to find you. When that happens, illness will no longer be able to hold you back or keep you from moving forward. Then, the breath of my spirit will support you, take you forward, and set you in the strength of my purposes, so that you might complete every assignment of heaven that has been planned for you on this day, says the Father. Today, the Father instructs us to give ourselves the gift of heaven. Gain access to everything I have generously provided for you. There is no need for you to beg. You are not need to plead with me in order to get the benefit that I have already decided to bestow upon you. You now wear the robe of righteousness that I have placed on your forehead. On your finger, I have placed a signet ring that I just gave you. The past is no longer relevant. Move on from the past. Put the pig husks of the past, which never did fulfill your requirements, out of your mind. Forget about people who have the mentality of an older brother and who are resentful of the kindness that I am currently showering upon you. You have been set free. Once more, you are totally clean. There is no longer a problem with sin. One thing that needs to take place right now is for you to adjust your way of thinking to reflect the degree of kindness and love that I want to show you right now. I love you to the extent that I love you to the extent that I love you. That is not only what I do, but also why I am who I am. I cherish the fact that I was able to provide. I cherish the fact that I am providing. You have inquired about the actions that I am taking in your life, and I have responded by stating that I am providing for you. Who or what am I giving? I am providing you with everything that is relevant to life and having a godly character. I will provide for all of your requirements in this life by giving you the bounties of heaven. Take that into consideration as the most fundamental fact about who I am in your life. It is I who donates. I am not the one who takes, nor am I the one who steals. A thief arrived with the intention of killing, stealing, and destroying. You should be aware that none of the things that you see around you, such as theft, devastation, and death, originated from me. While some people have asserted that I engage in such behavior, it is important to note that these individuals are not aware of who I am, nor are they aware of the extent to which I love you and have chosen this day to express my love to you in its entirety. In today's message, God declares, I have decided to keep you to myself. The call that I have placed on your life is not one that you should bring to the attention of other people. At the time that I choose, the anointing that is placed upon you like a cloak will become apparent to you. Men should refrain from acting in a manner that is characterized by contention, discussion, and division. Therefore, why would you be unduly concerned with their viewpoints, conflicts, and contentions? They are the blind leading the blind, so why would you be like that? Pride is the only thing that can lead to contention, and pride has a well-known consequence. You should fall on your face, just like Moses did during these times, and know that the rod of my favor that is on your life will bloom, flower, and give fruit at the time that I have allotted. Who is aligned with the Lord's cause? The person who does not entertain the idea of expressing judgments, ideas, or harsh denunciations toward others. The person who speaks louder than others in the room is the one who is making an effort to build his or her own independent authority. Simply maintain your composure and be aware of who you are in me. Maintain your composure and be aware of who I am within you. I ask that you bring everything before me in prayer. They are not going to pray, as you are aware. You are aware that they will not look for my manifestation. Upon the conclusion of the conflict, who do you believe will be the only one still standing? My voice, which is a still, little voice, will keep you and vanguard you in the middle of every hardship. The one who listens to my voice. Have you faith in me? Let me handle everything from here on out. This day, God commands you to put an end to putting things off. The things that you have put off doing and the things that you have put off saying are things that need to be dealt with right now. Refusing to make a decision is still considered a decision, and the time has come to make the decision to act, despite the fact that it may appear to be difficult. The necessity for conversations is something that must be addressed. There are assignments that are nearing the end of their respective stages. What was once a matter of days and weeks is now a matter of minutes and hours. Despite the fact that the door that leads to a fresh and open heaven is still open, I will not wait for an infinite amount of time, my dear. There is more to the story than just your life and the circumstances you find yourself in. I love you because I love you because I love you to begin with. Be quick to act. The country of promise is waiting for you to take possession of it, therefore possess the confidence and boldness to do so. Always keep in mind that there is always a prize waiting for you on the other side of compliance. To continue in this vein, your reluctance to take action will bring about consequences in your life that are not of your choosing and are not of my choosing either. At this moment, it is time to move with a determined and intentional intent. Always keep in mind that the reason things are the way they are is because of the actions you are taking. To achieve a different result, you will need to undertake a different course of action. Observation is not a prerequisite for entering my domain. Wishful thinking is the only thing that can be considered when you wait and wait without changing your direction or changing your way of thinking. The reluctance and timidity that have been holding you back are gradually disappearing, and courage is on its way. Your ability to sprint through a crowd and leap over any obstacle will be a direct result of my righteousness manifesting on the inside of you. Where do you stand? Be quick to act. It is time to end those unhealthy connections that are not serving my objectives in your life, the Father says today. It is time to break those partnerships off. I do not acknowledge that the illegitimate authority of those things that occurred in the past have any grip on you for any reason. I have caused you to walk forward on the dry soil of the future that I have fashioned for you from the beginning of the world. I have detached the waters that are above you from the seas that are beneath you. Make up your mind to walk in love and respond in love. The Father has spoken to us today, on my terms, saying, and in accordance with what I have communicated to you from the beginning. Today, God indicates that we are in the season of preparation. At this point, you have inquired, Lord, what is going on? How can I align myself with your plans? My word to you is that you are getting ready for what is going to happen next, and you can put your faith in me to choose the outcome. I am making adjustments to your life and your schedule in preparation for the next assignment that is right around the corner, and the things that are happening around you that you do not comprehend are merely adjustments that I am making. Maintain a straightforward approach. Maintain your adaptability. You should always be prepared to change your focus and increase the degree to which you obey at a moment's notice. In the words of God, refuse to be distracted. Your adversary wants you to divert your attention away from the harvest. The reason he wants your attention on what he is doing is because he is aware that you focus your attention on whatever it is that you are doing. Maintain your concentration on the throne. That which I have disclosed to you regarding my plans and objectives should never be subject to negotiation. Despite the fact that the vision is for a predetermined time and appears to be very far away, you should be aware that things are much closer than they appear to be, and that your open heaven is growing right above you, as God has stated. It is time for a handoff, according to what the Father has said today. Your assignment is shifting, the Father says, and your role now is to teach, train, and advise others to be ready and get ready to come alongside and labor where you have labored alone for some time now. This is your responsibility. According to the Father, it was never my intention to keep you in a condition that was either static or stagnant to the point that you did not have any assistance or support in order to accomplish what I have called you to do and in fact commanded you to do. You have not been unsuccessful, God says. Maintaining your faithfulness will result in the benefit being bestowed upon all of you, so be willing to let one plant water another. It is important to be willing to be the one who waters and remains faithful, regardless of whether or not you see immediate benefits. As I move you to a new location, I am also moving you to a new territory that is more fruitful. Despite the fact that it appears to be a desert, remember that I promised that the desert will blossom and produce something. According to the Father, my timings are catching up with you with a growing sense of urgency. Prepare yourself for the irregular and the abrupt shift that isn't always going to make sense or fulfill your image of what things should look like or how things get done. You are used to a particular cadence to things in your walk with me, but now you are going to experience something that is not going to be like that. I limit my sovereignty with regard to a promised outcome for you, but I maintain my autonomy with regard to bringing you along in my anointed process, regardless of whether you comprehend it or not, or whether you are able to explain it to other people. Simply keep saying yes to my yes and press into the pressure that would shut the door against you that I am opening. Thank you for your continued support. You will not be left out, says God. You will not be left out of the hour that changes the world. The hour that changes your world is upon you, and those who believe they have everything figured out about you and your future will come to realize and be confronted with the fact that I love you and favor you a great deal more than they initially concluded. In the house of slander, the Father instructs you to be careful with your words today. Avoid paying attention to what they are saying and what they are thinking by turning a deaf ear. Anyway, who exactly are they? Do not respond once more when your good is being referred to as bad. My voice is the voice that walks over the head of every falsehood that has been spoken against you and every allegation that has been made against your intentions. Be aware of this, says God. The truth will always triumph over the lie, and what I say about you will continue to stand even after every false witness has been forgotten for a very long time. It is the enemy's intention to divert your attention away from the kingdom, to distract you from the harvest that I have prepared in response to your prayers filled with confidence. The adversary of your soul wants to pull your attention away from it. The outcome will be certain if you maintain a face that is as fixed as a flint on what I am saying and where I am bringing you. You do not have the freedom to respond to those who criticize you. Observe them in silence. They have never lived anywhere else, and the ditch of human logic is the only place they have ever known to call home. To walk in accordance with the logic of this world is not something that I have emphasized to you. Either reason or every word that emanates from my throne will be the means by which you are dominated. Individuals who place a higher value on reason than they do on my still, little voice will, sooner or later, discover that they are ensnared in bonds within the house of slander. If you are my darling, I have better things in store for you. Cast in your lot with all those people who have a desire to have a testimony that involves walking on water. No longer will the shorelines of men's perceptions prevent you from achieving the greatest dream and the highest heart's desire that you have ever had. The reaper is being overtaken by the plowman, and this is the time that has been designated for you to harvest the entire harvest that obedience to my voice generates in your life. In this day and age, the Father encourages us to stand firm in our faith. On some days, having faith is like fighting a battle. It is possible for you to go in the same steps that I have ordered for you, and then find yourself in a full-blown conflict with the religious mentalities that are opposed to anything that does not start with them. It is not anything that is odd or something that is contrary to my purposes if you encounter opposition or even outright animosity for the testimony that you have provided. If someone stares at you with hatred and insults you, it does not mean that you have done something wrong. The entire world detested me, and there will be occasions when you will feel the same way about yourself. Take heart and don't give up. Try not to be pessimistic. It is not necessary for everyone to like you or agree with your activities in order for your destiny to be fulfilled. Try to maintain your composure. Refuse to let myself be dissuaded from keeping the commitments I have made by unfavorable situations or challenging individuals. Be courageous in the face of hardship. Make up your mind that you will advance in my kingdom and that you will not retreat. It is not about having a powerful personality or being a narcissist who is so self-absorbed. Simply know what you already know. Your sense of well-being should be rooted on who I am on the inside of you, and you should continue to move forward even if the people who are closest to you do not acknowledge your progress. Some people in your life will never accept or support the activities that you take unless they are in charge of what happens next. This is the case even if they are part of your life. Continue to show them love and obedience to the things that I have commanded you to do. Always keep in mind that the truth will always triumph over the lie, and that at the end of the day, your fate will remain unaltered, and my plan will be carried out in accordance with the promise that I made. According to what the Father has revealed to us today, you are qualified for what is to come in my kingdom. My intention is not to exclude you in any manner. Just as I am, you are also a part of the earth. Your sanctioning and entitlement are based on the merits of Christ, not on anything you have done or have not done correctly or poorly. I am doing this because of the merits of Christ. That is the essence of the concept of favor. It would be unreasonable to expect me to show favor in your life. This is not a fair situation. When people see the walk that I lead you to experience in the coming days, you should get ready to hear them say, "That's not fair." A complaint like that is the complaint of someone with the mentality of an older brother. You are the recipient of my choice to express my love and affection for you. According to God, I have made the decision to shower my favor upon you like water on a land that is parched and thirsty. The Father instructs you to fill the valley of your disappointment with the trenches of your own expectations. It is because you do not wish to be let down that you have made the decision to say, "Never again." This is what I have to say: if you go out and do the ludicrous, you will accomplish the impossible. Because I am not a logical God, I do not understand why I would ask you to be a reasonable believer. The terms in question cannot be used together. When Peter walked on the sea, there was no rational explanation for his actions. It was completely illogical for Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to threaten the king with the threat of throwing them into the blazing furnace. "You are in my presence," says God. "You are going to triumph over the insurmountable. You will put an end to the bloodshed caused by the sword. The unreachable will be accomplished by you." When I accomplish something in your life that other people have no faith to do and call you a fool, they will be astounded beyond belief because I am doing something that they never imagined anyone would ever see in their lifetime. The Father has revealed to us today that my splendor is not something that is concealed. My greatness is not being concealed, rather, I am revealing it to the world. It is now a resident of the temple that I made you to be, which was formerly located above the mercy seat in the tabernacle. I am going to make a public show of the things that Moses concealed beneath a veiled face during your existence. I will bring about such an openness of heart within you that it will light forth as a beacon to everyone that you come into contact with. I will induce this clarity of heart by my actions. You are a carrier of the glory, says God, and I declare to you that I chose to originate my glory in the interior of you in a way that has never been done before. According to the Father, you should live your life in the pursuit of my glory. I invite you to open yourself up to the fullness and depth of my magnificence with everything that you have inside you. You should make it your goal and your holy ambition to be that vessel through which the outpouring of the divine might find its full expression. Do this with a full tilt intentionality. Let go of the commonplace distractions that you encountered during the day and take a step forward onto the path of consistency that I have laid out for you. You are going to be refined and perfected by me. According to God, I will bring you to rest in the threshing field of my purpose, and I will birth in you a fresh oil, even a new anointing that this generation has never experienced before. In this day and age, the Father instructs us to feel the blaze of my Spirit. As you go through life, I am a fire that consumes everything, and as you go through the process of refinement, I am polishing you and transforming you into my image. Make it your goal to make every facet of your life explosive in my presence. Make this your own personal determination. You should not give yourself permission to become emotionally attached in things that are nothing more than wood, hay, and stubble of any kind. The Father says, I have called you to higher things. Therefore, open your heart and your mind to the cleansing wind that is blowing in this season of time and in the circumstances that you are walking through. As you say yes to my yes and trust me to be the fourth man in your fire, the only things that will continue to exist in your life are those that are representative of my character. The Father says, what I am saying is that I am turning up the heat, not to destroy you but to answer the very cry of your heart. But I am not doing this to ruin you. Make up your mind to get go of that one poisonous relationship that has gotten in the way of your destiny and taken away the joy that is rightfully yours. When it came to Abraham, Lot had no place. You have people in your life who are like Lot. They are unable to follow you to the place that I am taking you. Allow me to grant you the grace to cast away your Ishmaels in every relationship and circumstance that has been compromised, so that I may bring you forth and cause you to ride in the high places of the earth as is your calling and your ultimate destiny. Set your affection upon the throne, and allow me to give you the grace to do so. According to what the Father has revealed to us today, you are freed from the rule of death. The part that you receive is the utter abundance of the free gift that I gave to you on Calvary. The one act of my compassion that was poured forth into your life in a single instant is what deals with the transgressions that are caused by immorality. You cannot be held captive by the offense of sin. Compared to the love that I have showered onto you, the repercussions of death are really insignificant. Your acquittal from the burden of sin, want, death, and diminishment shall now be issued by the grace that saves you. That one act of righteousness that I performed on the cross in your behalf serves as the foundation for every prayer that is answered and every intervention that I make in your life. Consequently, the Father advises that when you come to me, you should come relying on the merits that Christ has earned. Your history is erased, your present is purified, and your future is protected by the person that I am on the inside of you. Have no fear. There is no fear or anxiety in my love. You are the sole recipient of my affection and the kindness that I bestow upon you. I am your provider, your healer, your provider, and your all in all. I am your benefactor. That the work of the cross finds its full expression in your experience on this side of heaven should be my deepest want and desire for you. This is my greatest desire and longing for you. Heaven on earth is the one and only blueprint and plan that I am working on in your life, so rejoice, expect, and anticipate my goodness today beyond anyone's ability to quantify it. In this day and age, the Father instructs us to rush into the tower of my name. When you put your faith in my name, the characteristics of my name will soon become the defining characteristics of your life. It is with great awe that you will witness the salvation of your God accomplish for you what you are unable to accomplish for yourself. My name is wonderful. I introduce myself as counselor, and it is under my advice that your goals will be set up and carried out successfully. I am the Prince of Peace, and the peace that I provide to you will lead you to places that your understanding cannot reach. You will see the walls of division brought low and the valley made high as you walk forth experiencing what my reign looks like in the life of one who trusts implicitly in my watch care over their life. My name is Mighty God, and in my strength you will experience these things. When you are in the midst of a war, my name will serve as your shelter and your protection from the storm. Because I am your defender, you do not need to ever utter a single word in defense of yourself. Because I am your refiner, I will perfect you until you are a reflection of my glory. However, you do not need to wallow in guilt because of the mistakes you have made in the past. Eliminate the coping methods that are associated with failure and disappointment. It is my favor and my provision that is tracing your steps in order to bless you and give you a life that is worth living. Therefore, you should make the decision to stop cringing whenever the phone rings or the knock at the door arrives. Instead of focusing on the things that are behind you, you should look forward to the things that are in front of you. Benefits and blessings beyond your ability to expect, as well as a plethora of them. That is who I am, and that is what I do. Thus, you are immediately qualified for everything that my name provides to those who place their trust in me. Your eligibility is guaranteed. I only work with those who are willing, the Father speaks to us today. My objective is to establish my beneficent power over human beings on earth who are willing to submit to my dominion and who are willing to respect my authority. As a result of your submission to me, you will be offered the opportunity to experience the boundless delight that comes from my rule over your life. In doing so, I will deploy you and use you to bring about in the earth the final victory over wickedness that is the end result of what I am accomplishing in your life in both tiny and major ways. I will do this by deploying you and using you. It is for this reason that I am here on earth. This is the response that I have to your inquiry. It is possible that you do not believe that there is a causal connection between what you are pleading for and what I am constructing, yet, this is specifically where your trust and belief in me come into play. I ask you, the Father, do you have faith in me? My heavenly administration is being established on earth, and everything and everyone linked with my purpose is working hard to make this happen. Is there a connection between you and my intentionality? In such case, there will be no end to the expansion of my government in your life. The invasion of the adversary against you is something that I will not tolerate. When you connect with my beneficence and my lordship as a willing and yielding vessel, this is the share that you receive with each passing day. I want to do big and mighty things in the world, and I want to do them in your life as well, says the Father, but I need your cooperation in order to accomplish them. If you are willing to cooperate with me, I will bring about the positive change that you have been pleading for. I will liberate you from your shackles and let you free to experience everything that I have promised to you in its entirety. Today, the Father tells you that you are going to have everything you want. When you make the decision in your heart to devote yourself to seeking the kingdom, my reaction is to make sure that you are able to obtain all you desire. For those who walk in the righteousness that I have provided for them in my kingdom, I will not withhold any good thing from them. Align yourself with that reality, and allow yourself to completely surrender to the transformation and the adjustments that are required in order to make room in your heart for what I have in store for you. For every single day of the world that you are living out your testimony on this side of heaven, you should be aware that being found faithful is the most important thing that you can do. The Father encourages you to make a commitment to change. Say to yourself in your heart that change is not disruptive, rather, it is advantageous. Defend yourself against the aspect of your personality that is determined to maintain the status quo at any cost. You must be willing to change and open to new experiences in order to be successful. It is a waste of time to wait for one's former greatness to return while standing on the corner of life on the street. It is a lie to sit about and do nothing while waiting for your ship to arrive at some point in the hazy and far-off future. The actions you do right now will determine the outcome. Because my kingdom is not built through observation, you must make a commitment to act in accordance with what you observe me doing on a daily basis. Then, as a result of your deeds, you will reposition yourself in preparation for the outpouring of the entire load of the benefit that heaven has to provide, which happens as a direct result of your trust.